Alright folks, today I'm fishing a lake I've never fished for kokanee. It's a pretty small lake, so shouldn't be too hard to find them if they're in here, but it's gonna take some hunting a little bit. It's a very narrow, deep lake, so I'm expecting them with surface temperatures right around 56. They should be in the top 20 foot of the water column, at least in the morning here. Air temps are in the upper 40s, but headed towards 80 today. I'm just gonna drop this down maybe 40 feet, 50 feet, and see what's happening. See if we can find them. Hang out down there, see if I can find it on my... There it is. Found it on, I'm at 40 feet right there. I'll go down just 10 more feet. Crank it up. 59 at the surface. 59 down to 10 feet. 55 at 15. 50 at 20. So yeah, they'll be in the top. They're going to be in the top 20 feet if we can find them. So I don't see anything hitting on the surface right now, but maybe we'll start like one at 10, like 5 to 10, and one at 15, maybe on the downrigger. The downrigger, we're going to put it 15. I'm going to start with a split decision MK3 and a really beautifully paired pink and purple salmonoid. I'm marking stuff down at 100, but I don't think those are kokanee, but maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. We'll start near surface, see how it goes. And over here on the snap weight rod, I'm going to do a bougie with a orange and chartreuse micro squid. Well, I'm still marking some fish like that. To me, looks like kokanee in the 50 to 100 foot block. I might have to go down there and see what's going on if I don't get bit on top here shortly. So sometimes, mysteriously to me, these spring kokanee will not be feeding near surface, and they'll end up much deeper and in much colder water than what is typically ideal for them. You know, they're more typically looking for like 54, 56 degrees, sort of their optimal temperature. But sometimes they'll be deeper for two reasons. One might be that there's a food resource down at those depths that's gonna pull them down there. There might be some kind of concentration of plankton at that depth. Another reason can be predation. You know, if your lake has lake trout or mackinaw or bass in it, especially on a narrow lake like this one where the bass, there's smallmouth bass and largemouth bass, pre-spawn moving up on the edges of the lake, they might be coming out and feeding. There's something right there, just came up. So it could be that those fish are feeling pressured, so they move out deeper, over deeper water, and go deeper to avoid predation. So we'll see if that's what's the case here. I'm going to poke up here and troll a little bit shallow for a little while. I haven't marked anything in the top 20 foot, but that could just be avoidance of the kayak. Just plowing right through them, but they're not engaging with the downrigger bowl at all. They're not excited by it. You can see them, they're just not really keying in on it. They're not like following the downrigger. I think one maybe followed it out to here. No bites though. What do you want, fish? What do you want?
What do you want?
It's not that simple.
What do you want? God damn it. What do you want?
Alright, I'm gonna switch up to Goldilocks and a moon jelly and pink spinner on the downrigger rod. Just been going through too many fish, not getting bit. Just got me frustrated. Oh, finally got a fish. Let's see what it is. Feels very trouty, but a big school of kokanee underneath me right now. Nothing out of that kokanee school though. Let's see what we got here. This is on the surface rod. Let's see. Oop. Oop. Gotta get it in the net first. That would actually be a kokanee. Look at that. So, surface rod. It's the only rod that got a kokanee. Well, I'm marking tons of fish down at like 7,500 feet. So I guess they are where the temperature is appropriate. Because these ones that I've just been going through, not biting at all. Not a very big kokanee. Probably a little 12, 11 incher, but got one. Nonetheless, we're on the board. Well, with that, I'll probably bring my other rod up to the top. Maybe with 2 surface rods going. That was on superficial, which is always a great surface dodger. I got a little moon jelly spinner behind that. Or actually, I got a little pink spinner behind that. Woohoo! It's always good to get that first kokanee in a new lake. Hopefully that was not just a one-off. I'd like to at least get, 4 or 5 fish here. I've kind of missed the early morning bite window when I saw fish on the surface. I guess those must have been kokanee. I thought they were trout. So I am going to just turn around and go back from where I came, because no need to leave fish to find fish. I'll be curious how they cut, because it's a very deep, cold lake, but they're feeding up in the warmer water. It's also curious as I hooked that fish right above a very massive but super deep school. It just makes me wonder if they're just kind of going down deep, getting cold, and then rushing up to feed up near the surface. They definitely weren't very excited about anything on the downrigger going through those deeper schools. Those fish seem to be completely off the feed. Oop, there's fish. So I'm putting up a little bit better fight. Oh, I got kokanee jumping around me too. Wow. It's crazy to me how this superficial, man, this is one of my favorite dodgers, man. It just kills fish. Such a simple design too. There we go. Another kokanee in the boat. Sweet. That's a little bit bigger than the last one too. That one's more 13-ish. Pretty healthy looking. This is on this little Silver Slayer's spinner. That thing catches so many fish for me. It's a very simple little pink spinner. It was one of my best producers in the caribou as well last year. Nice. Second one in the boat. We go back through that area. Seems to be about like a 100-yard stretch wide by like 300 yards long. That's where I'm getting bit. Be nice to get a bite on this. I'm just not sure what they want. So every time I go to a new lake and I go through these situations where it's like I'm using my depth thermometer to look at where I think kokanee should be relative to temperature, and then I see in the sonar, I see fish deep, you can sometimes get tricked and pulled in 2 different directions, and that's definitely what happened today. But I hedged my bet. I kept one rod shallow while I pushed the other deep, because I do sometimes find that these fish, and I do believe those fish that were down between 50 and 100 were kokanee, are kokanee, but sometimes those fish will just not be on the feed. They're going down there for temperature refuge or refuge from predation. And these fish up near the surface, where there's a lot of photosynthesis going on and much higher densities of plankton, those are the fish that are active and on the feed. And so you can get torn, between, what do you think you should do? And what's worse about these shallow feeding kokanees, of course, you can't mark them on your sonar, right? Because your sonar cone's so narrow and they avoid the kayak or boat. And so you don't know if there's fish up here until you start connecting with those fish. So it can be really frustrating and challenging because your eyes show you on the sonar like there's definitely fish here, but the science and the biology of the fish tells me that they should be up shallow feeding because they typically like to feed anywhere from 54 to 58 degrees. Surface temperature is 58.51, so it's on the upper end of where they want to be, but that's where the food is. I mean, science dictates that the sun's energy is hitting the surface of the lake. That's where photosynthesis is taking place. That's where things like Daphnia are going to be feeding, and that's what they feed on. So now I just got to get this rod catching fish. I'll feel a lot better. It's interesting though, the area where all the fish are deep, I'm marking all these fish like 50 to 100, it's above them that I'm catching those fish. Oop, that was a good hit. There we go. Definitely a kokanee way of jumping back there. Need to get some more of these silver slayers spinners. I've only got one, but they produce well for me everywhere. This guy's putting up a fight. It's just a really nice sized fish too. Dang. Yeah, that fish is a solid 14, 15. That's awesome. Alright, there's my nicest sized fish of the day, not too bad. Hoping to get a couple more and then I'll probably call it. Catching them all in the same spot. I'm catching them all on the same rod too. So. Still have not solved the mystery of why they won't hit this other gear. Do have a plastic bladed pink and purple spinner. Maybe that'll do it. It's not quite as showy as the metal spinners, but it has some action on it since I'm not getting anything on that plain pink hoochie. Just gotta figure out what dodger I want to run that behind since they don't seem keen on anything but superficial at the moment. Alright, what I'm going to do is actually switch out to a Nebo. Call this Barracuda blade. This is gold, pink, and purple. Maybe that will get there. Get them hangry enough. I believe this is a Nebo spinner too. I think this kind of just goes to show, like, sometimes I think I'm ridiculous with the number of dodgers I carry, and then I come out here on days like this and it's like, I wish I would have brought every single dodger I own because most of it isn't working, just one is, And I have another superficial sitting at home, sitting on my desk, and I would rather have it out here right now. Alright, let's see if this gets them going. Oh, I finally got a bite on something else besides superficial. Got a bite on the gold Nebo. So they want something small. They want a small spinner, but they don't want a lot of flash associated with the spinner. So they want a small painted spinner, but not a flashy spinner. It's crazy. These fish drive me nuts. Oh, there we go. Nice. Oh, he's off. Dang it. This rod isn't as good at flatlining as that rod. That's a little bit stiffer rod. So I might do a trick here while I'll use the downrigger ball. Help set the hook. Since I've missed 2 bites on this one. So I'll put this thing back there like 100 feet, and then I'm just going to set the downrigger ball just to like a foot or 2. Okay, so I'll just clip in. And That's it. Like I'm basically just setting that downrigger ball like 1 foot down. And that's gonna help, because that rod is just really more of a downrigger rod. It's not really a flatlining rod. So that'll help with those fish hit that, then the weight of the downrigger ball will help drive the hook home. Oh, there's a bite. You still there? Yep. There we go. He was chewing on that thing for a while. I think putting it on that downrigger really helps drive that hook home. Jeez, he is jumping like crazy. Jeez, you guys are crazy. Got him. All right. Score one for the Nebo. Oop. There's fish. That fights like a kokanee. Hopefully get number 5 here. Then I'll just turn around and troll back to the ramp, and whatever fish I get is the bonus fish. Yeah, that's a nice sized coke. Ooh, like this guy, I got one over here too. Gotta deal with this guy though. That's just a big fish. That's a big fish. Jeez. That one's still there? No. Nice. That's awesome. That is a very nice kokanee. And he's off the hook. That's probably pushing 15, 16. Good variability in size, which is kind of fun. They're not all cookie cutter. Oop, there's fish. Oh yeah, that's a good hit. Dang, nice fish. It's another nice sized kokanee. Oh boy, yeah, that's a toad. Man, take that size fish any day. That would be a monster on the western side of Washington. All right, that's gonna do it for me. Definitely an interesting day. It's always fun learning a new lake and trying to piece out where the fish are gonna be and what in particular they're after. Definitely was pretty much a surface bite today, even though I marked kokanee almost all the way down to 100 feet. And they wanted big slow wide wobble dodgers with some pink component, and then spinners, but not overly flashy spinners, which is really kind of interesting. All right, I'll put links to everything I used in this video below. If you have any questions, just hit me up in the comment section. Just remember, fish smarter, not harder. Bye, guys.